9 Creepiest Urban Legends. Number 9. The Clown Doll. A girl in her teens was babysitting for a family in Newport Beach, California, watching over 2 young girls. The father of the kids instructed the teen to go to a specific room once the kids went to sleep, since he didn't want her wandering through the house. She put the kids to bed and began heading to the room she was instructed to go to. She noticed a strange clown figurine standing about 3 feet tall. She didn't try to make a big deal about it at first, but there was something about it that just sent chills down her spine. She then began to freak out and called the father she was babysitting for if she could move the statue to another room. The father said frantically, "Grab the kids, head to the neighbor's house, and call 911 immediately." She asked him why, and he said, "We don't own a clown statue." The police arrived to the house and arrested a midget in a clown costume. The parents stated that the kids had been telling them frightening stories of clown nightmares. Number 8. The Slit-Mouth Woman. This legend originates from Japan and tells the story of a samurai who believed his beautiful wife had an affair while he was away during battle. He then slit her mouth open from ear to ear, laughed at her and said, "Now who's gonna find you beautiful?" The woman recovered from her wounds, but was left horrifyingly disfigured. It's said that in 1979, this woman was found terrorizing school children, and more police were instructed to patrol certain areas more carefully. It's believed that she still roams the streets of different cities in Japan, but is wearing a surgical mask. She'll come up to random strangers and ask them, "Do you think I'm beautiful?" If they say yes, she rips off her mask and says, "What about now?" If you say yes, she'll cut your mouth open from ear to ear, so you can be just as pretty as she is. Number 7. The Russian Sleep Experiment. The Russian sleep experiment was conducted on political prisoners to see how sleep deprivation would affect someone's mind. Test subjects were put into a small room and exposed to an unknown stimulant gas that would keep them awake. 5 days go by, and the prisoners seem to be enjoying the effects and are heard laughing and chatting. It seems as though the gas is inducing some type of euphoria. Their behavior would quickly change, and the 6th night, the soldiers conducting the research heard ear-shattering screams that just seemingly never ended. The test patients ignored any food and covered the windows to their cell so they could not be seen. The guards attempted to communicate with them and told them that if they cooperate a little bit longer, they would release them. The prisoners responded, "We no longer want to be released." After about a week had gone by, the guards unlocked the doors, and what they found was shocking. The descriptions of what the guards saw looked something similar to this photo. They had horrendous smiles on their face, and bones protruding from their skin. For more detail, check out the story on Creepypasta. Number 6. Namco Terrace. This place has been described as China's most haunted building. It was once a building that housed what the Japanese called comfort women. During World War II, Japanese soldiers would visit this building when they spent too much time away from their wives and needed some comfort. Many of the local women were forced to live here. Its location is prime real estate in Hong Kong, and companies had even had plans to demolish it, but the plans were canceled for unknown reasons, and no one seems to be able to demolish it. Some claim to have witnessed a woman in a crazed state of mind running out of the building and attacking people walking down the street. Some teenage girls hoping for a paranormal experience got exactly what they wanted. One of them began speaking in tongues, and when police were called, it took 2 grown men to subdue her. Others have witnessed a man completely in black that roams around the property. Number 5. BlackEyed Children. We all know there is just something slightly unsettling about children with no parents walking around at night. A real person and well-known Texan journalist by the name of Brian Bethel had an unsettling experience with black-eyed children while writing a check in his car in Abilene, Texas. The children knocked on the window to the driver's side, but he couldn't see their eyes since they were covered with a hoodie. He rolls down the window, and one of the boys says that they needed a ride home in order for them to get money to go see a movie. Although the conversation just seemed normal, for some reason, Brian felt an overwhelming sense of fear. Brian looked at the time and he had realized that the last movie showing at the theater had ended at least an hour ago. As Brian hesitated, the boy talking got a little bit more pushy and reached for the lock on the door. Brian finally realized that both of the children had pitch black eyes with no iris and no pupils. Some claim that these are the ghosts of children who lost their lives from trusting strangers. Number 4. The Bunny Man. This urban legend takes place in Fairfax County, Virginia. In 1904, a mental asylum prison was shut down in order to move the prisoners somewhere else, when unexpectedly, the transport vehicle crashes, killing the driver and allowing 10 inmates to escape. The police spent hours searching, and found all escapees except one. While searching for the last man, police would find the skinless carcasses of rabbits near what's known as the Bunnyman Bridge. It was revealed that the man who managed to escape had killed his entire family on Easter Sunday, and that was the reason why he was held at the mental asylum. Police had finally spotted the man, and while in pursuit, it's believed that he was hit by a train. Strange sightings of a man wielding an axe underneath the bridge was reported in the 1970s. The urban legend has hit the locals so hard that they still refer to this creepy place as the Bunnyman Bridge. Many continue to report sightings, especially around Halloween time. Number 3. Bloody Mary. You might remember this urban legend when you had a sleepover with your friends during middle school. If you say her name 3 times and look into the mirror with the lights off, the image of Mary's ghost will appear in the mirror. But who on earth is Mary in the first place, and why is she so bloody? Mary Tudor was the sister of Queen Elizabeth of England. During the time of her sister's reign, Mary was a Catholic in order that Protestants be put to death by cruel methods such as burning at the stake. This gave her the nickname of Bloody Mary. Mary became increasingly frustrated due to the fact that she couldn't bear a child, and this was most likely the reason for her madness. Others say it's the ghost of a little girl named Mary who was put to rest at a cemetery. Her mother could hear screams coming from her tomb. They were convinced that she was still alive, and they needed to open her casket. They found that the coffin was scratched from the inside, and Mary's nails were bloody in an attempt to escape. Number 2. Slenderman. Have you ever felt like you were being watched for no particular reason while going on a hike through a foggy forest? He's appeared in random photos of children hiding behind trees, normally before conducting kidnappings or abductions. Slenderman is often found stalking his victims and portrayed as a faceless tall man who's slender and wearing a suit with a tie. He has the ability to teleport, and he can be seen in forest, abandoned locations, or outside people's windows just watching them as they sleep. He seems to have a hypnotizing effect over children, and they tend to trust him quite easily. Those who have witnessed Slenderman and were able to escape are said to be completely traumatized and left mentally unstable. Number 1. The Rake. The Rake is a mythical creature from urban legends, and is the thing nightmares are made from. It's said to be a half-human, half-dog-like creature. The Rake makes its presence in the night, sometimes to attack, and sometimes just to strike fear into the hearts of unexpecting victims. Some believe that they are truly looking at the devil himself and can no longer go through the torment of witnessing such a frightening monster. Those who witness it say it's found sitting on the corner of their beds, and it looks them directly into the eyes, waiting for them to wake up. The description slightly varies, but most of the time, it's perceived as having morbidly pale skin, sharp flesh-scraping claws, and abnormally large hands. They also have black eyes that can reflect light, normally dripping with blood. It might even be on your bed right now, so watch out.